Delights! It's your girl, Delightful Debbie here, your 14-year-old fashion designer, and I am back with another tutorial for you guys. I'm so excited to start this tutorial. This is what I will be making. I'll show a picture on the screen here. This very cute long pencil dress. This is the fabric that I'll be using. This 100% quality Ankara fabric. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the pattern, and my client did a very good job picking this fabric. But yeah, that's the fabric I'll be using today, guys. For this dress, you'll need about 3 yards. If you're on a bigger side, you'll need about 4 yards. And don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. I'm so excited to get started. And without further ado, let's get straight into the tutorial. Okay guys, so right now I have a piece here to cut our bodice pattern. So I have my fabric folded into 4 for what will just be enough to get the measurement. And as you can see, I left 1.5 inches from the second fold for our zipper allowance. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is mark our shoulder line at the top right here. So that's our shoulder line. And obviously from the shoulder to waist is 17 for my client, and then I added 1 inch, which would make it 18 inches. And the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is mark all of our vertical lines. So for my shoulder to bust line, I am going to come down for my client I'm going to come down by about 12.5 inches for her bust line, and I'm just going to mark that right there. So after that, the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is come to our first fold here. Remember, we don't take measurements from the second fold. And I'm going to go in by 3 inches for my neck width and 4 inches for the neck depth. And just use your ruler to mark a curve. A very simple neckline. And then for the back neckline, I'll be coming down by 2 inches. Now you can do 3 and 1.5, but for my client, 2 and 4 is what I'm doing. So then after that, I'm going to go ahead and mark my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8 inches. I'm going to come down by 1 inch and then mark that line into my neckline. Guys, we're doing a simple shoulder slope, as you guys probably already know. Then from our shoulder slope, we're going to mark down to our chest line. Now, if you guys don't know how to get the chest line is your bust measurement divided by 6, and you add 1.5. And for my client, that would be 9 inches. So I did that, and now I'm marking that straight line right there. Very simple. And then from that point, you're going to mark all the way up to your shoulder slope, a straight line. So after that, we're going to remeasure it again, and then we're going to divide that line into 2, which is obviously going to be 4.5. You're going to mark that, and then you're going to go in by 1/2 inch, obviously. And then on the chest line, you're going to go ahead and mark your bust measurement divided by 4. And then you're going to connect all your points from the shoulder slope into the armhole, and then out into the chest line. So now, guys, we have already done our armhole right now. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is that we're going to measure to our underbust line. Now, for my client, her underbust line is 15 inches. So I just measured that right there. But then from the underbust line, I am going to go up from the underbust line by 1.5 inches, guys. So from your underbust line, go up by 1.5 inches, or you can do at your underbust line, and then go out by your bust span divided by 2. That would be your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. You're gonna go out by that, and then you're gonna mark 1/2 inch on each side of your darts and mark a straight line all the way to that point that we made. We're marking the darts right now. That's why we drafted our underbust line. So after we do that, I'm going to go to my bust line and mark my bust measurement divided by 4. So just go ahead and do that. Mark your bust measurement divided by 4. And then on the waistline, we're going to mark our waist measurement divided by 4. And then you're going to add 1 inch for our stitches. Sorry, guys. I'm going to add 1 inch for our dart allowance, and then 1 inch for our stitching allowance on the bust and waistline, and go ahead and connect those points, guys. Sorry about that. My mother is with me right now, actually. But anyway, yeah, you're going to mark those lines, your dart and your stitching allowance on the bust part, and you're gonna go ahead and cut everything out. I hope you guys understand everything I'm saying. Cut everything out on the armhole, on the shoulder, on the neckline. Don't forget to add half an inch stitching allowance on the shoulder line and the neckline. So you're gonna mark your back neckline, and then you're gonna go ahead and do your front neckline, but just on your front piece. So go ahead and cut all that right now. And then notch your darts. Don't forget to do that, guys. Okay, guys, so now we are going into the skirt pattern. We're going to go ahead and start drafting that out now. So as you can see, I folded my fabric the exact same way as the bodice. I folded it in half, then I folded it into 4, but I didn't let the second fold get all the way to the end because we will be needing that 1.5 inches for our stitching allowance. And as you can see, I have enough that'll be able to get all of my body measurements. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is mark our starting line, which is going to be serving as our waistline. So as you can see, I've marked that right there. And remember, guys, we take all our measurements from the fold, not from the zipper allowance. So the next thing that we will be doing after that is coming down to our hip line. So whatever your hip line is, you can come down to it. If you don't know your hip line, usually for women, it's about, like, if you're on the smaller side, 7-8 inches. If you're on a bigger side, 8 inches, 9 inches. So for my client, hers is 8.5 inches. So that is what I will be marking, and you're just gonna mark a straight line right across from there. And yeah, so the last line that after this hip line, the last line we'll be marking is our full length. Now, guys, obviously, since this is a pencil skirt pattern, we do not need all of these extra lines. We just need our waistline, our hip line, and our full length line. So for our full length, what we're going to do is that whatever you used for your shoulder to waist on your top piece, you're going to take that measurement and put it on your starting line. So my client shoulder to waist is 17 inches. So I put 17 inches on the starting line, and I marked it down to the full length that she wants her dress to be. So she wants her dress to be 54.5 inches long. So I'm doing 56 for seam allowance, hemming allowance, all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead to mark that straight line right there. I hope you guys can understand what I'm doing right now. So the next thing that we'll be doing after that is coming to our waistline, and I'm gonna mark her waist measurement divided by 4. Now, guys, on this dress, there'll be no darts. And, yo, if I'm being honest, I kind of forgot about that when I was pattern drafting. So if you see later, I had added darts and dart allowance, but I realized I didn't need that. So yeah, guys, no darts at all. As you can see, I already drafted darts. No darts. We do not need darts on this. Just mark your waist divided by 4 and then add 1 inch for stitching allowance, and that is it. So yeah, so after we do that, the next thing we're going to do is come down to our hip measurement and mark our hip measurement divided by 4, and then you're going to add 1 inch for stitching allowance. Now, guys, for this dress, stitching allowance is not compulsory because we will not be sewing the waist from to the hip or anything, since it has 2 side slits. But I do still recommend adding stitching allowance so that you have allowance to hem, so that your dress will not be smaller than it actually needs to be. So I just went ahead to add 1 inch. I don't need that much, just 1 inch, and mark that straight line all the way down to the hem of my dress. So that's the only thing you guys really need to do. This is a very simple pencil dress skirt pattern. So after that, you're gonna go ahead and cut everything out. And yeah, go ahead and cut it out, guys. So y'all can see the scissors I'm using right now, guys. They're worn out. Like, it wouldn't cut the fabric at all. I had to get my other pair of scissors. Literally, those other ones were actually, like, being so raggedy. But anyway, just want to say that. Okay, so go ahead and cut everything out right now. Okay, guys, so right now I have the piece that I will be using to cut out the sleeve. So the measurement of this piece, I just used like what will be good to be able to get the armhole for my client. And the length, yeah, I folded it into 4, guys, so I can cut both sleeves at the same time. Yeah, And the length, I have 16 inches here, and my client wants her sleeve to be 14 inches, but I have 16 so that I could fold it up like this by 2 inches, and I can, hem it, because that's what I want the sleeve turn up to be. It's gonna look really nice, really clean. So go ahead and use your clips and fold up those 2 inches right there for your sleeve turn up. The hemming of the sleeve just ends up so much better when you do this, guys, so I very much recommend. So the first thing you're gonna do is mark basically like your armhole divided by 2, just a estimation. We're still gonna measure it correctly, and I'm just bringing back my front piece here and measuring the armhole for it just to make sure it all lines up. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in by like half of what I have on my fabric right here, so about 6 inches. And then from that 6 inches, I'm going to go down by 4 inches. Now, guys, you can come down by 3.5 inches, by 5 inches, depending on your size, but this is basically your cap. So for my client, I'm coming down by 4 inches and 4 inches on the end here. And I'm just going to mark an S shape, guys. You guys have seen me do this on the channel so many times. I'm just going to go ahead and mark an S shape right there. And then you're just going to remeasure it and mark the measurement of your armhole. So go ahead and do that now, guys. I hope I wasn't too fast for y'all. I know that was, a lot. So after we do that, as you can see, the length is 14, which is exactly what we want. And the next thing we're going to do is take our measurements. So I just came to the middle, of my sleeve right here, around my bicep line. And I just marked her bicep divided by 2. And then, since we don't want this to be super, super fitted, I'm just going to mark her elbow divided by 2 at the bottom. Added some extra allowances, guys. Just, gauge what you want it to be. This is not a fitted sleeve. It's not really, all that. You just do based on it. So as you can see, I marked the measurement around her elbow, and I marked it. I added some inches for ease and for stitching allowance, and I'm going ahead to cut that out right now, guys. I hope you understand everything that I am doing.
Yes, did you?
Y'all, that was my mom. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys, so right now we finished cutting out our sleeve, and I'm bringing back my my bodice and my skirt piece. And as you can see, we have all of them laid out on the table here. So without further ado, let's get straight into the sewing. Okay, guys, so right now I've just gone ahead to pipe my neckline with bias binding, also known as bias tape, if you guys know it as that. But I went ahead to pipe my front and back neckline with it. So the next thing that we're going to go ahead and do after that is to connect it on our shoulders. So just join the shoulder pieces for both of your back pieces, good side to good side. Just clip it as you see me doing right now. Sorry, y'all. And just clip it as you see me do it right now. And after that, you're just going to go ahead and fix your darts in. Very simple, guys. Sew your shoulders. Don't forget to overlock them, guys. We care about neat work. Here at Delightful Couture, it's all about neat work, guys. Make sure you overlock all of your stitches and then go ahead and fix your darts. Go ahead and do that right now. Okay, guys, so now that I've gone ahead to do that, I sewed my shoulders together and I sewed in my darts. As you can see, it's looking very, very neat, guys, which is what we want. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is attach our sleeves. So, guys, I've already gone ahead to hem my sleeve. As you can see, it's looking very clean because, folding up the edges is the way to go, guys. Trust me, it's the best thing to do. So, I folded up my edges, and we're just going to go ahead and attach our sleeves. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is fold my sleeve in half, and I'm going to notch the middle point so that we have accurate measurements, guys. So, just go ahead and notch the middle point of your sleeve. And then you're going to place good side to good side. The place where you joined your shoulders together, you're going to attach that notch that you made on your sleeve. And you're going to go ahead and clip it all the way through. And then guess what the next thing to do is? Sew it in and make sure to overlock your stitch. Do this on both of your sleeves right now. Okay, guys, so after I've gone ahead to join my sleeves, as you can see, they're already looking super beautiful. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is join our skirt pieces to our top piece. So I just brought in my front skirt pattern right now, and as you guys remember, we are not doing darts on this, so don't worry about it. The thing that we're about to do is just sew it up. Sew it to your front piece. Make sure you guys line it up very, very well. Line up the sides, everything. Make sure, like, especially on the back pieces, make sure the center front is to the center front and the side front is to the side, side back is to the side back. But yeah, just go ahead and sew your pieces up right now. So guys, now that I've gone ahead to do that on both my front and back pieces, they are looking super nice, and obviously I already went ahead to overlock them so that they're very neat, as you guys can see right there. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and do is fix our zipper. So guys, I have my invisible zipper right here. It's a very long zipper. Guys, also in the pictures, you'll notice that I ended up switching my zipper because I wanted a longer one for my client. So I ended up using a jacket zipper. But y'all just go ahead and fix whatever zipper you guys have. Make sure your zipper is able to go past the waist. The hips. That is something I would definitely recommend, or else it'll be very difficult for it to get on. But yeah, just go ahead and fix your zipper on your back pieces and sew all the way down. Guys, remember, there is no slit in the back because literally there are 2 slits on the side. Go ahead and do that right now. So guys, as you can see, I've gone ahead to fix my zipper. So now it is time for the last step, guys. I'm super excited. It's time to sew the sides up. As you guys can see, the inside of my dress is looking really neat, really nice, guys. I'm very happy with how everything is looking. Even though we didn't use lining, it still looks absolutely amazing. So the last thing is to sew up the sides, guys. So right now I'm clipping all the way from my sleeve to my waist. Now, guys, remember, this is not like a normal dress. We will not be stitching to the hip or the side. We will not be stitching there. We are going to stop our stitch at the waist. And guys, remember, when you're stitching, make sure you take a body measurements. That is very, very, very important, guys. Don't act all, like, okay, I got this. I already know how much stitching allowance. Make sure you check the body measurements before you stitch it down, okay? Are you listening, guys? Yeah, you have to do that. It's imperative. Go ahead and do that and hem the sides and the bottom of your dress, and you're all done. Okay, guys, so this is how the outfit turned out. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like. I love you guys. Bye.